Steak bites and mashed potatoes is one of those meals that looks expensive, tastes amazing, and honestly comes together way easier and quicker than people think. So, if you're trying to impress a date or your family or even just yourself, then this is a good one. Go ahead and put a pot of water on the stove and add about 2 teaspoons of salt. While that's coming to a boil, peel your potatoes and cut them into chunky cubes. Once the water is boiling, carefully add them in, cover the pot, and then let them cook for about 25 to 30 minutes or until they're nice and fork tender. Now it's time to prep the steak bites. I am using sirloin tip, but honestly use whatever cut you have. Go ahead, grab a sharp knife and cut your steak into bite-sized cubes. Then you're gonna season it with some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I am also adding a little Worcestershire sauce for extra flavor, but that part is totally optional. Before I cook the steak, I am going to prep for the sauce. Since I'm doing a cowboy butter vibe, I'm going to slice up an onion to caramelize, and then I'm going to mince about 4 cloves of garlic and some fresh parsley for the sauce. Cowboy butter usually requires chives as well, but I don't have any, so we're going to do without. The potatoes should be done by now, so go ahead and drain them and then combine these still hot potatoes with some warm milk, butter, and a little mayo. The mayo is totally optional. You can also throw in some cheese in there if you want. It's important to add everything in gradually while mashing so you can get it nice and smooth without overdoing it. And then once you're done with the potatoes, just set them aside, whether in the microwave or on the stove to keep them warm while you continue cooking. Now to caramelize the onions, just heat up some oil or melt a little butter in a pan. Either works fine. I'm using both. Add your onions and then toss them so that they're fully coated. And once they start to soften and shrink, turn the heat down to medium-low. Then add a little sugar and a pinch of salt. Keep cooking, and it's important to stir every now and then until they're nice golden brown and caramelized. And this step usually takes about 10 to 20 minutes, but that's only because I am using a small amount of onion. The time may differ depending on the amount of onion you're trying to caramelize. So while that's going, go ahead and start working on the steak bites. Heat a cast iron skillet over high heat with a little olive oil, and then add the steak bites in a single layer and let them cook for about 2 to 3 minutes per side. Try to turn them only once. And once they're cooked, transfer them to a plate and let them rest while we move on to the sauce. In that same pan, add some butter and let it melt, then toss in the minced garlic and stir it around for about 30 seconds so it becomes fragrant. After that, stir in some Dijon mustard, lemon juice, parsley, chives if you're using, cayenne pepper, crushed red pepper, and paprika. And then after that, it's time to add the steak back in. Toss everything together so it's fully coated in that butter sauce. Let it cook for another 1 to 2 minutes. And just like that, cowboy butter steak bites is done, and it's time to serve up dinner. To serve, start with a generous scoop of mashed potatoes, then layer on the caramelized onions, top it off with the cowboy butter steak bites, and spoon some of that extra sauce over everything. You can also go ahead and drizzle a bit of chopped parsley on top to give it some color. And just like that, you've got a meal that looks fancy, tastes amazing, and was actually super easy to pull together. If you want the full measurements and everything that I use for this recipe, go ahead and click the link in my bio. It will take you directly to the recipe for these steak bites. Also, remember to follow and like for more content from Nikki's Kitchen. See you in my next video.